Good evening. It's now Monday night going into Tuesday morning. I'm going to try to keep this video as short as possible. I do not have a replay for you guys. Their server is currently under maintenance or is down and needs to be updated. Shane from The Rational Trader has made changes to where he has now included the breakout model. So it will be now 4 models within this algorithm looking for trades. And it's going to be pretty interesting already. There is the ES, the NQ markets, and now it's going to be CL enabled. So it's going to be very interesting going forward. I do recommend you following Shane's progress at The Rational Trader or his YouTube channel if you're not a subscriber. What I will do with this video, I do want to back test and show the replay for today to show where my discretionary or where I do get my bias for that session or for the day. And that comes from the market, from cumulative delta, or the willingness of aggressive or the measure, excuse me, better said, the measure of aggressive buyers or aggressive sellers in the market that move the market. All right, that does nothing with passive orders. I'm showing nothing or talking nothing about passive orders, which are usually just limit orders sitting at X price. All right, let's show you how the delta chart looks. All right, this all is Monday night. Excuse me, let's get this correct. Sunday night, Monday morning into the electronic trading session. Alright, last night there was well, first to start off with this line that's there. That's the zero line. We call it a neutral line. I set the neutral area from plus or minus, I'm not going to give it an exact number, but plus or minus 1,000. Alright, you can set that to your own liking. That's when you usually get a black background on the other chart. If you're over plus 1,000, then you get a blue background, and then if it's negative 1,000, you get a red background. Right, this just shows basically the measure of market orders within that session, and it measures just that session, which starts at the morning session, which starts at 9:30 and runs to 1600, and then the night session, which runs from 1800 up into the morning session open, which is 9:30. Okay, you can see how in the morning session we started at 9:30. Opened up around 2100. Went as low as, you can say, roughly minus 5,000. Came back up. Stood positive for the most of the day. There was a up bias, and by 12 o'clock you sort of turned. And bias turned negative right at, you can say, rough 2 o'clock, and just shat its pants. Alright, that's where it'll show up on this chart as a color as background. See if I can pan out somewhat. You'll see these changes in the background. Alright, what I do want to be able to do and to configure with Shane's new update, of which I'm hoping, and this is a great way. I didn't want to waste Shane's time, but I wanted to find out if this was possible to be able to. I only want to be taking shorts when the cumulative delta is red, or excuse me, when there's a downward bias, and I only want to be taking longs when there's an upward bias, or you'll show that you see a blue background in the background. Alright, so I'm not sure what kind of hassle I'm going to have with setting up these charts again, because again, these are my defined studies. Shane's comes with, I believe, all the way up to from 1 down to 10, and everything else is mine that I just trying to make the charts more personalized to help me on my day-to-day activities. Alright, so the only reason why I don't have the replay again, because the server is kicking back error messages. I believe again the server needs to be updated as instructed in his weekend video. Alright, so let's just run this replay. Again, no trades are going to be placed because the server again is just not participating with it. And this is just of today. I just want to show you how the delta looks going back and forth. I definitely want you to see how these changes are caught just along with the delta, so you can see when these are there's a change of context in the market. All right, again, it starts at 1 a.m. just because I have it set at that. If the algorithm was trading and it doesn't start taking trades until 3 and stops at 3. All right, I am going to zoom in somewhat. All right, I turned off all the sounds so that way you don't hear these funny sounds in the background. There's also a timestamp included on the left. Going forward, there'll be the timestamp on the left, and then you have the delta measurements on the right-hand side. You have the overnight highs and lows. You have the regular sessions highs and lows, and then the current delta value. It's going on 9 o'clock in the morning. So you're going to have a reset in the delta. It goes neutral, then negative, back to neutral, into positive, and stays positive for a majority of the day. You're now already almost 20 points off of lows. So it's just another tool to keep it grounded. And I believe most futures trading platforms gives you access to the cumulative delta. Neutral around 12:48, there's a small blip of negative bias, but quickly switches back, changes, neutral, into back into negative, back and forth flip-flops, but right at the highs, you're told that there's now more market orders than buyers, market sellers than buyers. Right into the end of the day, we puke right back to session lows. I'm going to let this run right into the next session. See if I can speed it up a little bit. Next session is opening. It's now 6. All neutral. And whatever the news is or whatever is going on, I know we're sitting on top of a long, as far as a halfway back long from lows. If you're watching the delta, neutral, slight negative, and it just starts making its way back into positive territory. And there you go, up bias. It's pretty much just the story of the night. Alright, so I really hope to get this configured in, because I do only want this algorithm taking longs when there's an up bias and shorts when there is a downward bias. You can have it taken both, and meaning that you can just leave it alone and unfilter it and let it just take its trades the way it seems. But with that comes trade management, meaning that it doesn't, puts in target stops for you. It's just identifying the conditions that know that there'll be a success in towards that direction. So you have to, this is where your trade management comes into place. And if you know the way I'm trading, I'm not looking for home runs. I recognize that these equity markets are a mean reversion instrument. They will return back to a normalized condition, to where they will revisit breakouts. Whether the area that they will revisit an area that was, some people like to call it the scene of the crime. And that's all I have for right now. I'm going to get these servers updated. I'm probably going to be up for majority of the evening fixing these up. I likely will not be getting trades. I will not be taking any trades until the morning. And that's all I have for you guys. I'll talk to you as soon as I get these charts back finished. Have a good night. Trade safe.